Well, good evening, people. Hope you're all well. On tonight's show, I've got another author on. Her name's Emma Roache. Amazing young lady. And you're listening to Radio Warwickshire and... Oh yeah. Yeah, we just had Easter and everything's going well. If you want to hook up with me, why not go on Twitter at Dougie Stone Show or at Dougie Stone, or on Facebook, Kirk Pickstone. Like to have a chat with you, get to know you, maybe get you on the show. Don't forget my Friday show is Country, 7 till 8, radiowarwickshire.com. Sit back, relax, grab a coffee. Right, people, here we go. On the show tonight, I've got another author. It's like a theme coming on. We've got authors left, right and centre. So I'd like you to, enjoy this show and listen to a good friend of mine, Emma. And she's going to introduce herself now and tell you what she's all about. So good evening, Emma.
Hi, Kirk, and thanks for having me. This is my first podcast, so I'm quite excited about it, apart from the little mini one we did the other week. So I'm Emma Roache, and I have my own coaching practice, and I unlock people's full potential, which is really exciting. I absolutely love what I do.
Yeah, well, that's the main thing, and that's what I try and do with this show, is encourage people to do things that they're passionate about and what makes them tick, and obviously that's what you're doing, and probably one reason why you've written the book then. So
Yeah, that's
what,
it.
What was the idea behind the book that you wrote?
So basically, I wrote the book because it ties in quite nicely with what I do with the business, but it also demonstrates that not only do I support people to step out of their comfort zone and do something amazing, that I've done it myself. And you'll know because you'll have seen the book, and it's called You Can't Do That, Watch Me, because I decided when I was 29 to go and travel the world for a year and follow my dream and follow my heart. And people tried to stop me because they had fears for me, fears that I had as well. But the fear of not trying was stronger than the fear of doing it. So off I went. So I wrote about that.
Yeah, that's a good point, that, because I do a couple of talks, and one of them I talk about family's crap, because your family, it is.
Yeah.
I love my family, but what you've said there, they're trying to protect you, so they say, "Oh, don't go and do that," and "Oh, what happens if that goes wrong?" Or "Oh shit, go on." So they do it with the good intentions, but actually can stop a lot of people from realizing their true potential. So I'm glad, like yourself, you've gone, you know what? No, I take that on board, but I'm going.
Yeah.
So you've documented in the book about that trip. Is that what it's all about?
Yeah. So for me, as you know, I don't have family around me, so it's my friends who are trying to stop me, and people who care about me. So very similar, and they had their fears. They didn't want me to lose my house or get hurt or anything. But yeah, so I really wanted to do it. I had this huge drive, so off I went, and I wrote about it as I went around, and I've picked out highlights from each country, things where I really had to overcome something to achieve what I was going to achieve. Like there's bits when I'm absolutely, I was terrified of spiders, but I had to overcome this because I really, really wanted to go and see a wild orangutan. So I had to go in the jungle. So I had to overcome that fear to achieve something which was one of my dreams. And luckily for me, I was strong enough to do that.
Hitting your fears. So obviously sometimes to get to your dreams, you've got to cross some fears that you've got. I mean, or get over them fears. And what the spider thing then? What's that like now for you? Approaching spiders?
Yeah, I'm much better than I was. I can actually get a spider in a glass and put it out by myself. So much better. But being in the jungle was quite scary. And even though I knew they were all around me, I had to focus on not looking at them, so that, it's a bit of a mind over matter thing, really. Enjoying the experience was more important than being scared of the spiders, Yeah.
Yeah, because they say, don't they, fear. Fear itself it's the fear, isn't it? It's not the actual thing. It's fear
Yeah.
itself that's the problem.
Yeah. Do you have anything like that?
Can't stand heights. Scared to death
Heights,
of
yeah.
heights.
And
Well,
I
I'll tell
hate
you a good story about that. I was in Mexico. We work on a course, and we went on a trip at the weekend, and it was to some caves. And I thought, oh, that's all right. I'm going to go cave it, in caves and what have you. It's supposed to be beautiful inside these caves.
yeah.
And so we gets there, and we're at the bottom of a mountain. It's like, right, okay, where's this cave? Oh, the caves are up there. The caves are at the top of the mountain. So I was like, okay. So we had to get a cable car up.
Oh
Oh
no.
my God, my heart was in my mouth. So when we got to the top, and we went around the cave, come out, and they went, well, you've got two choices. You've got the cable car. I was like, I don't want to get in that cable car again. It scared me to death going up. Or there's a 30-minute walk to the bottom through all these cactus and, red hot. I was like, I'm going to take the walk, thanks. I'll see you at the bottom. So I actually walked down. A
How
lot of
was
people
it?
said, hey?
How was it? Was it beautiful?
Yeah, very hot, as you can imagine. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a really good experience. But yeah, unlike you, obviously, I've not travelled the world. I've travelled to a few places. But so where's the places you actually went to then, Emma, on your trip?
So, because I was a bit older and, maybe a bit more aware of things, I decided to go what is classed as the wrong way round. So I started in Canada because I felt it'd be safe and a nice introduction, and yeah, and I found that really worked for me. And I'd always wanted to go to Canada, and I really treated myself. And I went on this train journey all the way across it, which was fantastic. And then I went to America, then Fiji, then New Zealand, then Australia for a bit, for 6 months. And then I went to
Wow.
Asia. And this was another thing. I remember sitting in a hostel in Melbourne chatting to some guys and saying, the next place is Asia. And I'm just a bit nervous about going there because I keep hearing all these horrible stories about it. And, people put things in your bag when you're going across border crossings and, all these horrible things.
Mm,
And they chatted with me and told me about all the great things about Asia, and then I did go, and I went to Singapore and Malaysia, which is beautiful, and I also went to Malaysian Borneo, which is where I went in the jungle to see the orangutans,
nice.
and then Thailand.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah,
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I
pretty
think more
cool.
people should do that. But you're right about going across borders, and there's lots of people trying to get drugs over and things, aren't they? Shoving it in your bag, and you could end up getting, and that's what probably people are worried about. You could get arrested and then spend the rest of your life in prison or something, can't
In
you?
Thai jail or something.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but luckily for me, nothing like that happened. So, and I met this guy. His name's Will. I met him in Singapore,
Hmm.
and he was also British, and he was going to Malaysia as well. So we decided to go together. Um, and it was actually on Valentine's Day. So me and this guy Will spent all of Valentine's Day on one of these. They call them VIP coaches, which they're like a coach over here, but they're a bit more plush. You just get 3 seats across, so
Yeah.
you got lots of room, and we had to get out and do the border crossing, but it wasn't too bad because we were together. We sort of supported each other through it, but it was absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
Well, that's it. You've got to find support wherever you can, really, and whatever you're doing. So, so you've got your travels, and you've been all over the world by the looks of it, and it's
Yeah.
sounds really exciting. So then you obviously have turned that into a book. So did you get people telling you not to write a book?
Yeah, yeah. Why would you write a book? Yeah,
Oh, don't write a book. No one will
yeah.
read it. No one
So
will like it. Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
why
go
would
on.
you do that? That's hard. Yeah, because what I learned from it all is that people tell you not to do things that they're scared of
Correct.
or that they're not sure about, and you know what? Traveling the world was one of the best things I ever did. It's just opened up so much for me. And some of my good friends I met when I was traveling, and they live all over the world, so it opens up so much. And then the book, I I always wanted to write it, and I wrote a blog when I was traveling, which is what I based it on. And people said that I write really well, and they enjoyed reading it. So, yeah, I thought, why not? So, I self-published it, and sales going really well. I'm really surprised at some of the people who are buying it and give me great feedback, which is really nice. So, again, stepping out of your comfort zone, doing something, putting yourself out there. It's been really well received, and it's been only positive so far.
I love it, and that's what the show's about. It's about people stepping out of the comfort zone and doing something they want to do, and the fact that you've travelled, you've travelled the world,
Hmm.
you've written a book. I think that's great, and
Yeah, how cool
I
is
think
that?
that enriches you as a person. That travel, because I've done, like I say, with work, I've done a bit of travelling and been to a few countries, not as extensively as you have,
Mm.
and those different things and different things you see and the cultures really affect you, even though you don't know they are. They're actually subliminally getting inside your head,
Yeah,
and you can call on that for experiencing your day to day life. Did you find that?
yeah, absolutely. And it means, so not only so I went traveling on my own, which a lot of people didn't want me to do as well. You can't go on your own. And actually, it was wonderful going on my own. And now it means if there's something I want to do, if there's somewhere I want to go, I don't have to wait for someone to go with me. I know I can do it on my own. So I quite often go all different places on my own. Even simple things like before I went travelling, I wouldn't go for a meal on my own or to the cinema on my own. But now it means that I can do anything, which is what I would try to get across to people in the book and in the coaching as well. You're your only limits, really.
Yeah, yeah, you're correct. You're correct. And I meant to read your book before today, actually, and I failed
It's
miserably.
okay.
And even though I've got a signed copy as well,
I
so I'm gonna have
know.
to.
Cool.
I'll have to sit down and read that one evening, I think. But it's been a bit bonkers the last week or so, and I've not had a chance to read it. So,
Yeah,
but
no, it's
anyway,
okay. You can read it, at your leisure.
yeah, I know, but I could have spoke about it, couldn't I, while I've been interviewing? I've failed, so that never mind,
It's
never
not a
mind.
fail. It's
That'll
okay.
teach. That'll teach me. But so you take that, and I think that segues us quite well because you mentioned it then about your business, and it takes you into your business. So, what is it you do with people on a one-to-one basis or in a group class?
Yeah, so mainly I work with people on a one-to-one, and I help people to step out of their comfort zone and to achieve the thing that I always knew I was going to travel. I knew it from a young age. It was something I knew I wanted to do and I would do. And I, I'm trained in what I do. I got lots of different techniques, and I help people to step outside their comfort zone and to dream big and to actually let themselves to be the best they can be, because some people are scared of being this fantastic, powerful, amazing person, and they want to stay small because it's comfortable. Yeah, and just seeing people grow is just amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I do something similar, and you're right. It's same again. People are I don't know if you've used the word before, conditioned or programmed to fit in and just do, what the other people have done. So if you look at a lot of us have come from backgrounds where you did the normal job and you saved up and you went on a holiday once a year and all that sort of activity, which is fine. I'm not knocking it. If that's you're happy with that, you're happy with it. So
Yeah,
I'm not
absolutely.
knocking anyone that wants to do that, but it does prevent people from going off and doing becoming the person or the thing that they should be, like you've done and you're doing. And there's millions of people out there that are stuck in this little box that people have created for them.
Yeah,
And I'm trying to open that
yeah,
box by talking to people like you and say, get out,
yeah.
come on,
And
get out.
sometimes people have created their own box because it's nice and comfortable, and you know they
Yeah,
like being in their box. And like you say, whatever people do, so long as they're happy, that's the goal, isn't it? So if you're happy working in a corporate world, brilliant, enjoy it, embrace that. But if you're not, if you want to go out and have your own business, which I'm guessing you had the same as me when you went out on your own, you can't do that. You can't have your own business. It's
yeah,
too
yeah.
hard. What about the insecurity? But
Get a proper job, and I know people say that get a proper job, and it's yours. And I was like, no,
get a proper job, yeah.
yeah, like, you're not bothered that you've only got a 3-month contract, and I was like scratching my head, going, when I was in a corporate job, I only had a 3-month contract. That was my contracts, and guess what? I got made redundant several times.
Yeah.
So I've got, I've got no. The risk is the same, isn't it?
Yeah, in a
And
lot
if
of
you're
ways, it's
good,
exactly the same. It's hard work in sometimes, and other times it's so rewarding. And
yeah,
you know, we get to choose when we work and when we do things, and we get
mm,
to live the life that we want to live. I love the flexibility. I love the irregularity. That
yeah.
for me is fantastic. And the 9 till 5 thing, it crushes my soul. I'm like a caged
Well,
bird.
yeah,
I
because
like to be free.
Yeah, because now I wouldn't be. I'd be like, oh, I'm clocking off now, Emma. I can't interview you now. It's gone 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
see ya. And you're right. I like the fact, we work in our business. We've got a couple of businesses, and sometimes we work at the weekend, we work at night, and then other days. It's not happened for a few weeks now because I've been that busy with stuff. But if it's a lovely day outside, I'll go. Do you know what? I think I'll go and have half a day on my motorcycle, or go and do something else. And it's
Exactly.
it's great to be able to do that. Or me my youngest lad's off school a couple of weeks for Easter, and then before it was like, oh shit, we need childcare, or where's he going to go? What's going to do all day? Well, he might go and do his own thing, but I'm here to do that. If I need to be here, I can be here.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's perfect. It's
It's so
perfect.
great, isn't it, to have that freedom?
Yeah. Well, someone put a post on this morning on one of the Facebook pages I'm on saying, how do you combat the Monday morning blues? And I just put on, I never have a Monday morning blue
No.
because I like what I'm doing. So I'm not saying I'm like Mr. Hyper, seven days a week, 24 hours a day. We all have our low
Oh
points.
God, yeah,
But what I'm
yeah,
saying is I don't go, oh God, it's Monday morning again. What am I going to do?
yeah. That's absolutely right, and I love the freedom of that. And yeah, it's really important what you said there. We do have up and down times. When I travel the world, you have bad days. We all have up and down times, and that's fine. And feeling all sorts of emotions is great. It's fine. You can feel
Mm,
sad or happy or angry or whatever it is.
yeah,
And there's value and there's learning in those emotions, where some people just like to keep in this parallel life where
yeah.
nothing really happens, nothing really changes, and that's comfortable. But it's okay to have a fluctuation of emotions. It's not, you don't only have to be happy, or there's all these things available to us.
Yeah, because if you only experience happiness, then what is sad? You know what I mean? You don't even know you're happy then, do you? So you need it's a bit like summer and winter and the seasons. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't particularly like the seasons in some respects, but at least you know that what it's like in the winter when you get a nice summer day like it is today. You appreciate it, don't you? But if it was sunny all the time, I don't know if I probably would still appreciate it. But do you know what I mean? It like stands out like, oh, great, it's lovely today.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. And that's okay in our emotions too and in our life. So yeah, go
yeah.
out there and experience things. And yeah, sometimes things won't go well and you might feel like you failed, but what's the learning in it?
Yeah. Well, I was at a thing last week, and it was quite right. Talking about a couple of famous people while they got famous and getting knocked back to the point where they probably got knocked back about 1,000 times with their idea. And I think it was Thomas Edison with the light bulb saying, "Oh, I think it was about to say 1,000 times it didn't work making the light bulb." And he said, "Oh, you've failed 1,000 times," and he just says, "No, I've found 1,000 ways of it doesn't work."
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know what I mean? But I'm not failed because,
Yeah.
and that's what I try and get over with the show as well. People see the facade, and I've said it before on previous shows, the facade of success or the facade of what people are doing.
Oh
But
yeah.
actually, whatever that you're going through, other people have felt that low points, those high points, and oh, am I doing the right thing? So we feel it as well as anyone else.
Oh,
That's the message.
absolutely. Yeah. But that
So,
doesn't happen only in self-employment. People have that in employed work as well.
yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And in
Yeah,
all,
but I think what I mean by that is people see it different if they've been self-employed, they've been employed, they've been in that environment, and going into this other environment, which is self-employment or working, having your own business. It's a bit like you at the start saying about the spiders and the jungle and all the rest of it. It's that there's a fear there of stepping into the unknown.
oh yeah.
Yeah, bit deep, I know, but you know what I
No,
mean.
that's great though. And yeah, the unknown, but what's on the other side of the unknown? It could just be just amazing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if it isn't, you get to choose. You get to choose what you do next. It's not definite. You don't have to stick with one thing. If it doesn't work or doesn't feel right to you, then you can change it.
Yeah, you can. And there was something I watched a while back, and it was this company. I won't even go to the details; 'cause it'd be boring. But he set up as doing one thing and ended up doing something totally different.
Yeah.
And I think he turned around and said, "To be in business and to learn to be in business, you have to be in business." It's you
Yeah.
know, that makes sense because
Yeah.
I think he'd set up a computer company to go and clean computers or something years and years ago. But what they ended up doing was like data managing for they ended up with a totally different business than they started off with, and it was successful. He just took an
Yeah.
opportunity and went with it.
No, I think that's a really good point, because I think sometimes you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what's available until you start trying things. So, and I think our businesses will evolve and change, and we'll find what works for us and what doesn't. But like you were saying, none of that's a failure. It's just learning. It's always learning.
Yeah, well, mine's changed because when I first started my business, I was doing like business consultancy or whatever. You're going and improving businesses, and I still do that a bit of that. But what has happened over the last couple of years, I've realised what I really want to do and what I'd originally set out to do, and I've changed direction and I've sort of pushed that business consultancy type thing to one side. You know, the interim management going in and helping the company out.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do evolve and we all evolve and all our businesses will change over time. I'm sure they will. You need to.
Yeah, absolutely. And you find new things that you love or new things that you want to try, and things just evolve, don't they? They just change, and working with different people, new things will come out of it, and you'll get new ideas. And that's
Yeah.
one thing I love about being my own boss, is that I get to choose what I do.
Yeah, there's some risk in everything. Try and mitigate those risks as much as you can, but just go and bloody do it. What's the worst that can happen? You know, I
Yeah,
think
what's
it's
the worst that can happen? That's exactly it. And
yeah,
that's the attitude that I had when I went travelling is, well, what is the worst that can happen, you know? I might lose my house, but do you know what? I mean, you know this, I was homeless at 16. I've lost everything once anyway, and I'm all right. I'm still okay. So,
yeah,
you know, you just have to weigh it up and put it in perspective, and having perspective's a great thing. And what's possible? Instead of thinking what can go wrong, what's possible about this
yeah,
situation? What
yeah.
could go
That's true.
right? You know, what amazing things could go right? And yeah, follow your instinct is a great thing. I think we all know what we want. We all really know what drives us. Sometimes we just need someone to help us unlock that,
Yeah,
or just to go, yeah, it's okay, and give you permission. Yeah, it's okay. You can go and do this. You can dream big and be whatever you can be.
yeah. Because if you set your sights high enough, it's a bit like playing darts, and if you want to get double top, you don't aim for the bull because you want it to. Well, you've got to aim high and then you'll fall somewhere below it. So always set that. What do you want to be? Where do you want? What does your business want to look like? What do you want? And for me, it's focusing on enjoying that rather than thinking, oh, where's the cash coming from straight away? Because it's at first, it's not doesn't always happen straight away, does it?
No, of course not. No, it takes a while to build it up, doesn't it?
Yeah,
And that sometimes you can think, oh, I'm failing, or I'm not doing as well as I should or could, or look at all those other people and how they're doing. But do you know what? Like you said earlier, everyone goes through these stages, and it is a learning curve, and things work out. It just takes dedication and motivation. And some days it's easier than others to motivate yourself. But if you know you're always aiming for that goal, which for both of us is being happy, isn't it, in what we're doing?
yeah,
um, that is our motivator, is that we love our lives and we love the freedom, we love the variety. That's what motivates us to keep going on those days when it is a little bit harder.
I'll just take a day off, if it
Yeah, I
gets
love that. That's
so.
another thing. If it's not working out that day, if things are really hard, take some time out. It's having that balance is so important.
Hmm,
And I think a lot of people, when they're first in business, I know I was guilty of this, you forget to have time out because you think, I need to work really hard to achieve my goal. And guess what? Actually, taking time out and looking after you, and like I do swimming and yoga or walk on the beach, as you know, and those things actually bring me so much more, and I'm more energetic and more positive and more able to do things when I take time out. And that's so important for people to remember that.
yeah, it is because you can run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you'll never ever clear everything that you need to do, no
No,
matter how many hours a day you work. So
yeah,
you do have to sometimes step back and go, let's have today off or let's have tomorrow off or whatever. I mean,
yeah,
we specifically, because we both work quite hard in two businesses and do various things, we could work, 52 weeks of the year, because for 52 weeks of the year you get paid because someone else is paying you. You're not an employee. You
yeah,
don't get holiday pay. But we chose that we would always still have at least 2 to 4 weeks holiday every year, whether that's going away or doing whatever, because you need it. Otherwise you burn out, don't you?
absolutely. And a lot of the people I work with, and they say, oh, I can't take time out of my business will fail, or this will happen, or that will happen. And when we work together, they actually identify, actually I need time out, and they take it. They come back to me and go, wow, I'm feeling great. My business is benefiting from this because I'm more energized, and people have more thinking time. And everything's about balance. You can't only work, you can't only have time off. It's about achieving that balance. And we're the most important person in our business, because without us, there is no business.
True.
And we need to take care of ourselves. It's so important, and people forget it so much.
Yeah, and the taking the break. I forget what I was going to say. Now I've lost that. Now I had a point in the head. Then I'm going. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. The thing is, with I've ever been in an operation or in a business or work with people, is if you've got, say, a leader, say a shift manager or a warehouse manager, and a lot of people think, oh, look, I've been away for 2 weeks, it's all fell apart because they need me here, and I don't think it's great. And I always say that's bad. You should be able to take time out of your business off running your operation or whatever it is you do, and it still carry on for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Over 6-12 months, I understand it would have issues, but if you can't take a break from your business or from running a shift or running a warehouse, whatever it is you do, and it falls apart, then there's something quite drastically wrong, because it should be able to carry on without you being there, shouldn't it?
Yeah. And sometimes that's about a bit of forward planning and stuff. Speaking of travels and stuff, I'm decided to treat myself, because I've been working really hard the last few years, and I've had a few sort of bereavements and things which have been tough. So I've booked it a month out. I'm going to India for a month. And people say to me, you can't do that, you've got your own business.
Yeah, screw you. There's the
That's
internet.
what I can. The boss said it's okay. So, and it's just about planning ahead.
Yeah, someone said that about the other week, about, do you have a drink on a Sunday night? And they were everyone going, oh, you can't have a drink on a Sunday night, it's a school night. I went, it's all right, my boss told me I can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I walk downstairs and go in my office. You know what I mean? I've got 2 or 3 offices, but I've got one in the house, so I don't have to drive. So even if I've had a good skinful, I can still operate. Yeah, it's
Exactly.
perception.
We can do it. I love that when someone says, oh, you think you can be free on this day? And I'm like, oh, hang on a minute, I'll just ask the boss. Yep, that's fine.
I know, crazy. Listen, Emma,
Yeah.
the time has frittered away with us. I'm going to have to cut you off a bit short here, because otherwise we'll be running over and over, and that's not good, is it?
No.
So where can people, firstly, get hold of you, and secondly, where can they get that amazing book that I'm going to go and read in a minute?
Okay, so so you can go to my website, which is www.emmaroache.com, and Roache is Roache, or you can email me, emma@emmaroache.com, or you can buy the book on Amazon as well. So it's up to you. If you want a signed copy, email me. If you want to buy it from Amazon, that's great too. And if you love it, leave a review. That'd be great. And get in touch if you're interested in coaching. If people are interested, I offer a free 30 minutes so people can try it, because not everyone's sure that that's for them. So.
Yeah, that's great. But go and get the copy of the book. What's it called again, Emma, to remind us?
It's called You Can't Do That, Watch Me.
Yeah, go and get it. Go and support her, because she's a great lady. And you'll be helping her out by getting the book, and you might learn something. So thanks very much, Emma, and I'll speak to you again soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been great to chat with you.
Well, people, that's another show done and dusted. I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said before, please check us out. Listen every week at radiowarwickshire.com, or use a tuning player or something like that. I have a Friday night show at 7 till 8, which is New Country. You might not like it, but I'm enjoying it anyway. And you've been listening to... Oh, yeah. Next week's show is a bit of an adversity show, and I'm talking to a guy about his about Baby Ava Foundation, which gives memory boxes to families that are bereaved with a child. So really sad. We've had a little chat today, and I'm going to go and interview him later in the week. So check that one out. If you've got any MP3s, why not submit them to Radio Warwickshire on our submission page? Thanks for listening. See ya.